Welcome back. Today we're reading Chapter 5 in Apple Mary and Dennie's Lucky Apples. Enter romance. When Bill Biff went home from the hospital, he was surprised to find his young brother, who had recently graduated from college, waiting for him. "Sure was surprised when I found you here, Jim," Bill admitted, after their greetings were over. "Hope you're here to stay." "Just a short visit, Bill, unless I find a job right away," Jim insisted. "Don't worry about that," Bill told him. "You're welcome to bunk with me as long as you like." "Thanks, but you sent me through college," Jim reminded Bill. "And from now on, I'm not taking any more money from you." "Don't be dumb," scoffed Bill. "Why shouldn't I help you? But listen, I'm on my way to the hospital to see some friends. I want you to meet them. They're swell." Apple Mary and Dennie thought Bill's brother Jim was swell too, so Jim became a frequent visitor to Dennie's room. One day, during their visit, Dennie's pretty nurse stopped in. "It's time for Dennie's medicine, Mrs. Worth," she told Apple Mary. "Well, it looks like a party in here." "Just some friends," Apple Mary explained. Bill brought his brother Jim in to see Dennie. At that, Jim came forward to put in a word. "Sure, Dennie and I are buddies. I'll be up to see him every day from now on," he promised with a smile. "Oh, really?" replied the nurse. "How interesting." Bill shook his head in bewilderment as the two young people stood talking in a far corner of the room. "She's never smiled at me like that in all the time I've been around here," he told Apple Mary. Mary chuckled. "You'll have to spruce up a bit, Bill, if you want to catch the lady's eyes," she warned him. Jim's hospital visits were more and more frequent after that. But soon, the day came when Apple Mary could tell Dennie. "Dennie, the doctor said you might be able to go home tomorrow." Sure enough, the next day found Dennie once more established in his comfortable chair in Apple Mary's living room. "Gee, it's grand being home," he thought to himself. "The doctor said I could use my crutches as soon as I'm stronger. Here comes Jim Biff. He's been looking blue all day, and I know why." "Hello, Dennie." Jim grinned. "Feeling better?" "Seems to me, though, you should have stayed at the hospital longer." "But the doctor said I could come home, Jim," Dennie insisted, pretending not to know that Jim was thinking of Louise, the pretty nurse he met. "I know," Jim agreed, "but you can't get the care at home that you'd have here with all these nurses." "What's all the fuss about?" came a cheery voice from the doorway. "Are you teasing my patient?" Jim spun about to face Dennie's pretty nurse. "Say, I didn't know you were here," he stammered. "Why, I was just telling Dennie there's no place like home for getting well." His happiness did not last long, however, for Jim had not yet found a job. He decided that he could not stay with Bill any longer, but must look for one in another city. His new friends were sorry to lose him. "Grandma, Bill said his brother was going away 'cause he can't find a job here," Dennie told Apple Mary. "Can't you help him get one?" "Why, Dennie, how could I get him a job?" scoffed Apple Mary. Maybe one of the companies you've invested money in might have something, the little boy suggested. That's right, his grandmother agreed. I keep forgetting I'm rich and not poor old Apple Mary anymore. I'll speak to Mr. Sprocket about it. Meanwhile, Dennie took it upon himself to speak to his nurse when she came in with hot milk for him and a watering can for the flowers. Did you know Jim is going away, Louise? He asked innocently. Going away? She gasped. Why, I thought, not that it makes a bit of difference to me what he does. Well, maybe not, Dennie agreed slyly. But why pour my hot milk on the flowers and give me cold water for lunch, then? As it happened, Jim did not have to leave after all. He burst in on Apple Mary and Dennie the next day in high excitement. I've landed a job, he cried. Couldn't keep the good news to myself, and Bill's out of town. So I came over. I'm glad, Jim, Apple Mary replied innocently. Is it a good job? Not bad, Jim admitted modestly. Funny though, some fellow called me, said there was an opening and I'd been recommended, but he wouldn't tell me who did it. Louise bustled in just then with Dennie's tray, and Jim's face lighted up again. You're just the person I want to see, he told her. How about having dinner with me tonight? Help me celebrate. I'm sorry, Jim, Louise told him. I'd love to, but I have another engagement. Apple Mary was surprised a few minutes later to see Jim slumped gloomily in a big chair. What's happened to Jim? She asked Dennie. A minute ago he was hitting the ceiling. Now look at him. He's in the dumps. She's going out with some other fellow, Dennie guessed wisely. That's all. Join me again as we read Chapter 6, titled An Unexpected Meeting. I have no idea. I wonder what that's all about. I hope you'll join me next time as we read Chapter 6. Thank you for watching.